1978, Italy's Aldo Moro was kidnapped and subsequently murdered. In 1986, Sweden's Olof Palme was assassinated, and the Romanian dissident Marin Groza will be the next.
It's much too dangerous. We'd be putting everything we have in jeopardy, eh?
Is there an alternative?
If this ever came to light, it would destroy us, eh?
That's nonsense. We'd be heroes. It's those who refuse to take action who'd be destroyed.
There must be another way.
There is no other way.
In the past 5 years, the world has seen the deaths of Anwar Sadat and Indira Gandhi, and an attempted assassination on the Pope. Our accomplishments are pretty impressive, I'm sure you'll agree. We are unified by one purpose, the destruction of détente. And we will accomplish that goal by any means necessary. The plan will go forward. I shall inform the controller of our decision. I remind you to observe the usual precautions upon leaving. Thank you, gentlemen.
Oh, I'm coming. Coming.
Bye.
No hello?
I'm in surgery in half an hour. Love you.
Promise me no more birthday parties?
Well, not for at least a year.
That champagne done me in.
You look beautiful. And you were beautiful last night. I'll see you.
Bye, kids.
Morning, Mom.
Morning. Morning.
Mom, is that the new cereal you got for me?
Yeah, you love it.
No, she doesn't. I told you, I can't eat that stuff. It's full of chemicals.
It's delicious. What's this I hear about a D in there?
Figures. That's supposed to be a joke.
How do you think it looks for a college professor to have a son who's failing math?
Hey, it's okay. You don't keep math. Mom, this bread is full of preservatives. I'm not going to let the food industry ruin my health.
You haven't even eaten.
I'm late.
Wait, I gotta go. Wait, do you have your lunch money?
Got it.
Your books?
Got it.
Wait, what about a kiss?
Oh, yeah. Bye-bye.
Love you.
See you later.
Hour traffic update with
Love
Bye,
you.
Mom. Love ya.
And we'll bring you the latest farm report from County Agricultural Commissioner Chris Gorak. On the national news front this morning, Stanton Rogers, the President's Foreign Affairs Advisor, has returned from his 10-day European trip and is meeting with the President to report on his discussions with foreign leaders. President Ellison's speech on foreign policy will be carried live by this station at 10 a.m. this morning.
Good morning.
I intend to inaugurate a new policy of cooperation, of trade, of friendship with each and every Iron Curtain country. For the problems that we share are greater than the problems that divide us.
David, what would you say is Romania's current position with the Soviet Union?
I'd say it's much stronger now. It's been a lot closer ever since UNESCO took over.
What about Afghanistan? When the Russians invaded Afghanistan, Romania was the most severe critic.
I'd like you all to keep in mind that Romania's position on anything depends on its total control. Their leader, Ionescu, is the government. He runs the country with an iron fist, which is not unusual for an Iron Curtain country. But he has survived for much longer than most dictators, and for some very interesting reasons. Don't forget to bring your essays on the Warsaw Pact countries.
Mrs. Ashley, is it true you were born in Romania?
Nope, right here in good old Kansas. My parents were born in Bucharest.
I was just interested.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing your essay on Monday.
Our controller has decided to acquire the services of someone we've never used before, an Argentinian who goes by the name of Angel.
Angel? That's rather ironic.
He has impressive credentials. The Khalistan assassination in India, the murder of the puppet Koang in Cambodia. Apparently, it was him who masterminded the assassination of those 6 army officers in Israel. The Israelis have put $1 million on his head.
How do we reach him?
All contacts are handled through his mistress, a woman by the name of Munoz. She's got an apartment in the Spanish part of Miami, Florida.
Who makes the arrangements?
Harry Lance.
Lance?
He's familiar with the Miami area. The controller's already talked to him.
It's quite odd, really.
I beg your pardon.
Well, the controller. We don't know who he is, and yet he masterminds our little organization brilliantly.
Come on, we're down 700 points already. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just can't seem to concentrate on it.
Obviously. Something bothering you, Flo?
I'm not supposed to tell. I promised that I wouldn't.
You promised who?
2 federal agents from Washington. They came to the house this morning asking all kinds of questions about you.
What kind of questions?
Well, I don't know. Was she a loyal American? Was she a good wife and mother? Was she on drugs?
What? Drugs?
Now, why the heck would they be asking questions like that?
Oh, wait a minute. I think I know. It's about my tenure.
What?
Well, I'm up for tenure. The university does some sensitive government research on campus, and I suppose they have to check out everyone pretty thoroughly.
Tenure, that's great. Now I can retire.
Forgive me, Dean Hunter, if I'm speaking out of turn, but was there any word on my tenure?
No, nothing yet, Mary. They won't be investigating your tenure till the end of summer.
No one's been looking into it?
No? You excuse me, Mary?
Buenas noches, señor. Estoy buscando una mujer. El nombre es Nuesa Muñoz. Hey, es una emergencia.
Siento, señor, no la conozco.
Señor Muñoz. Are you Nuesa Muñoz?
Maybe.
Harry Lance.
So?
You got a friend named Angel?
You gonna buy me rum?
Sure thing. Hey, give us a rum here. Look, I'd like to meet with Angel.
Oh. Anna. Nobody meets with Anna.
Honey, sweet. Now you listen to me. This is real mucho dinero we're discussing here. Comprende?
And I told you, nobody talks to Anna.
Well, then how the hell does he... If I can't talk to him, how can I do business with him?
You tell me. I tell Anna. Anna say si. I say si. Anna say no. I say no.
Tell him it's a contract.
Contract? On who?
Marion Grosser, the Romanian dissident, must die.
Comprendo?
Game nearly over?
Want to join us?
Not today. Come on, lunch is almost
In a
on.
minute.
Fine side, Tim.
Oh.
Daddy, you okay?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Hi.
Cut it out, you cheap shot artist, you.
Seriously, Mom, no one eats meat anymore. I mean, civilized people just don't eat alive animals.
Beth, if it's so revolting, get yourself some salad.
Hey, why don't you just go graze in the field?
Tim, eat your lunch.
I am eating. Look. Oh, you're disgusting. Why don't you leave the table then? Why don't you just eat like a normal human being? I am.
Can we
Stop it.
Both of them?
Both, today, now.
Well, that's a terrific idea. I just don't know who'd buy them.
On second thought, I guess we'll keep them. I kind of like their father.
I'm crazy about their mother.
I'll get it. Don't sit there. I'll get it.
Always at meal times.
Hello?
Is this Professor Ashley?
Yes, this is Mary Ashley.
Hold for the president.
Who?
I said, would you hold the line, please, for President Ellison?
Who is it?
I don't know. Somebody's playing a joke. It's probably Doug.
Hello, Mrs. Ashley. Am I interrupting anything?
It's the president. I can tell by his voice.
I've been reading your series of articles in Foreign Affairs magazine. And your book last fall on Eastern European politics, and I think I agree with just about everything you proposed. I'm especially interested in your plans to take the four major world economic facts and combine them.
He's read my book.
You may be aware, Mrs. Ashley, that in line with my new plan, we have approached President Ionescu of Romania to reestablish diplomatic relations.
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
The reason I'm calling, Mrs. Ashley, is that I would like to place you in nomination as my first ambassador to Romania.
Oh.
I know, of course, this is a very big decision for you, and you'll want to talk it over with your family, but I hope you take this request very seriously.
I do. Oh, yes, I do, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Ashley, and I hope you'll accept. I look forward to hearing from you. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, Mr. President.
Well, was it really the president?
He said he would like to nominate me as his ambassador to Romania.
You?
Ambassador to Romania?
Me!
That's
unbelievable.
I want to go to Romania. I mean, I don't want to go to Romania. No, you're not going to Romania. Romania is fun. Dad, I am not going to Romania.
Calm down, Tim.
I'm not going to Romania.
Calm down. Sit down. That's it.
I don't want to go. Dad, I don't want to go.
We'll talk about it, all right?
Gosh.
It's just...
My God, what an honor. Oh, hell, I don't blame you. Nobody knows more about the Eastern Bloc countries than you do. I'm sure they know exactly what they're doing.
But what?
Well, we just have to think about it very carefully, that's all. I mean, what it would do to us. All four of us.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, maybe there's some way we could work it so you could go over with the children and I could join you later.
No way, Edward.
I can't just leave my practice and walk out on my patients.
Of course not. I know that.
The hospital would be
Look, the
hard
fact
put to
is, it
find.
just wouldn't work. No. No, I wouldn't even want it to work.
Still,
No stills. I think it's fantastic, my being asked. I'll never forget it, but no.
You know, we'll talk more about it later.
Nope, my mind's made up.
I just don't make a hasty decision.
Edward, my mind is made up.
Some discouraging news, Paul. Mrs. Ashley has declined the nomination. We gather there's a problem being separated from her husband. So I guess you'll have to look to the State Department.
Career diplomats, every one of them, hidebound by tradition. No, this has to be a different approach to diplomacy. I want this to be a pilot program for all the other Iron Curtain countries.
And for that, you would send a relative amateur?
It's a risk, I know, but it's a risk well worth taking. She is exactly what we need, and right now.
Paul, I hate to mention this, but you and I both know that a lot of very powerful people in the world would love to see your program fail. In any case, I'm afraid you've lost Mrs. Ashley.
We're not giving up on Mary Ashley yet. No, we'll think of something.
All right. You bring me Angel. Bring him here tomorrow. And I'll give him a name. Okay?
No, okay. You want to know the name?
All right. You think you can remember that name? Tell him. And he'll know I'm not wasting his time.
I love it when you whisper in my ear.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Do you like me?
Sure, I like you.
You want to go to bed now?
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Buenos dias.
Hey, morning.
I fix you a nice bath, and I make you breakfast.
Great.
I make omelet fantastico, and now teach me how.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more about Angel. Like when do I get to meet him?
Well, I called him this morning. He'll be over soon.
Yeah?
See?
Hey, that's great.
Come on, get in the bath. Make you feel good.
Right.
I got a present for you.
What? I can't hear you with that thing blowing.
I got a present for you from Angel.
Oh, that's nice. What?
These. I got a message for you from Angel. You don't like the man you sent? Too nosy. Run. Yeah, sure. He tell me you do it. All right, hold on now, man. I gotta write it down. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Angel don't need no advance. Nobody cheats Angel. Sure. The job is finished. Send money, State Bank, Zurich. Account number J349677. You got that? Bueno.
Oh, just heard on the radio, Mrs. Ashley. I guess now you, Alf Landon, and Eisenhower are Kansas' only political big shots.
I'm a teacher, Mr. Hacker, not a politician. And right now, I was just wondering if you could get these spots out of Beth's jeans.
Well, I'll see what I can do for her. I guess she's a real grown-up teenager now.
Beth was born a teenager, Mr. Hacker.
How's Tim?
A lot like Beth.
Okay, what is it? Oh, I don't know. I guess I'm feeling a little guilty.
Why? Because you didn't take the appointment?
Well, I feel sort of responsible. Look, what if I'd been offered an opportunity like that? I've jumped at it. Talk about your male chauvinists.
Take her somewhere. You guys never go anywhere. Go to London. Go to Paris for a couple of weeks or something.
You know, Doug, you might just have something there. Hell, I might even take her to Romania.
Can I hold the hope that that's your homework in front of you?
It's a goodbye letter to Arnold.
Goodbye? I thought you liked him.
He wanted to fool around.
Oh.
I hate that. I really hate that. I mean, I don't mind being in love, but I'm never gonna have sex.
Well, sweetheart, you're only 14 years old. Things do change.
Never. I'm never gonna feel differently about that.
You sure?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's your decision.
Mom,
Yes, honey?
what'd the president say when you turned him down?
Well, I don't know his exact words, but I hear he was very brave about it. Give my best to Arnold?
All right, Professor Ashley. Lights out.
You can always tell when you've had a rough day.
Oh, yeah. That's the spot. Oh.
Well?
Oh, soldier from Fort Riley. Getting close to losing him. Then this afternoon, I treated a 13-year-old girl with genital herpes.
Dear.
Makes you worry about Beth.
You don't have to. She's planning to die a virgin. That's nice.
That's delicious. Any regrets today about turning down the job? I love you, Mary Ashley. I'm about to make you an offer you can't refuse.
I accept. I accept.
What's the matter?
Bloody limousines. This place is closed on Monday.
Never mind.
The dissident Marin Groza has been terminated by the assassin known as Angel. Has Mary Ashley accepted the appointment?
The Ashley woman has declined the post as ambassador to Romania. Although I am led to believe that the situation can be rectified.
Is she really that essential to us?
The controller can think of no one else who would suit our purpose so well.
Hanson, this is Hyde White, MI5. I'd like you to tell him what you told me.
Well, sir, the castle were closed, see? And I hear all these limousines. I counted 7 of them. They come and went. Zip, 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 zip. God only knows what was going on.
And what were you doing there?
Oh, well, sir, my girl Annie and I, we were under a tree and we were having a picnic and well,
Hanson,
you know how one...
did you get the license number?
Oh, yes, sir, I got 2 of them.
All right, Constable, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
As it happens, Inspector, the occasion was nothing more sinister than a royal function being planned without the press being aware of it. A good man, that, however. I'm going to see if he can be transferred to a better position. Thank you for everything. Thank you.
Hello? Yeah. Yes, he's here. Wait, just a minute. It's a friend of Pete Grimes. He says Pete's having a heart attack. He says he's in a lot of pain.
10 to 1, it's his damn ulcer acting up again. Dr. Ashley. Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, I'm on my way.
I think my car's blocking yours.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'm sorry, I don't... What?
Miss Ashley, please
No,
don't go in
let
there.
go
I
of
wouldn't
me.
do that.
Let.
Please.
What happened?
I'm afraid he ran a stop sign. You see, this army truck was coming by, and well, it looks like he tried to avoid him. But your husband just pulled right out in front.
No. No, my husband was a careful driver. He'd never...
I'm awfully sorry, ma'am, but we have witnesses, a Colonel Jenkins who happened to be passing by, and, well, of course, the Army truck driver, Sergeant Lee from Fort Riley, and, well, they both say the same thing, that your husband ran the stop sign. I guess I'll have you taken back home now, ma'am. What's the name of your family doctor?
Edward Ashley. Edward Ashley is my family doctor.
Kids, wait. Kids, wait a minute. Just wait.
They know.
How you doing?
I'd never been sailing.
What?
When we met, he said, "Do you like to sail?" So we went to the lake that morning. A week later, we were married. You know why I married you, lady? You laughed a lot. You passed the test and you didn't fall overboard.
Beats me. Beats the hell out of me, Jake.
Now, what's that, John?
There's 1048 on the Ashley accident. The guy had no accident record. The only ticket he ever got was for illegal parking.
So?
Well, the tire marks. They bother me, Jake. They just don't add up.
Well, I thought there were witnesses.
Yeah, well, we had the guy that was driving the truck, but he could have been covering for himself.
What about the other one, the Colonel?
Yeah, the more I thought about him, the more I wondered what the hell he was doing out there at 3:30 in the morning. So I called the Army CID investigator to talk to that colonel. They transferred him overseas, some big promotion.
Well, what about the truck driver?
Well, they found him in the barracks yesterday afternoon. Fatal heart attack, they said. The guy was only 29 years old.
John, what are you thinking?
Make any difference what I'm thinking, Jake. This case is closed.
Up. Roll
rolls to his left, fires the football. It's complete at the 50-yard line. Eric Mack is to the 45, to the 43. First and 10, Kansas State. The tackle was by Billy Wilson, the cornerback, but Eric Mack made the catch right over the middle, making
I rang. I guess you didn't hear me.
and then getting the first down. John Cadillac likes that figure. That's great. First down.
I made you a meatloaf for you and the kids. I thought you might enjoy it.
To the right side, split in left. Wild and Witherspoon now in the game. Here's Dickey on the reverse to Witherspoon. He'll come to the left side.
You know, that way you don't have to cook tonight or anything.
First and goal, Kansas State.
I'll just leave it in the kitchen.
Great call on. We'll send a split end wide to the left side in Kevin Pierce. To the right is Reuben Eccles. He'll be picked up by Jim.
She hardly knew I was there. She was concentrating on that game so much. It was spooky.
Well, Mary hates football.
I know that. Don't you think I know that?
Well, it was Edward who watched all the games.
Doug, I know that.
I'm sorry.
Yes?
Mrs. Ashley, I'm Stanton Rogers.
Yes, I know.
May I speak with you a moment, please?
Please, come in.
Forgive me for intruding upon your privacy, but the President asked me to visit you personally.
It was very kind of him to send the flowers.
We were deeply distressed when he heard what had happened. I'll tell you quite frankly, Mrs. Ashley, the President is hoping that you might reconsider his offer.
Oh, Mr. Rogers,
Hear me out, please. You see, initially I was against your appointment. That is a very sensitive post. I told the President as much. But the more I learned about you, the more I think his initial instinct was absolutely right.
But I'm not a politician.
Some of our finest ambassadors were never politicians. In fact, one of them, Galbraith, was a professor like yourself, as you surely know.
I'm well aware of that.
Many of them were political amateurs, but they all had intelligence, a love of their country, and a reservoir of goodwill toward the country in which they were to serve. You have just the kind of image the President wants to project in Iron Curtain countries.
Mr. Rogers, I still have my children to think about.
There is a remarkably fine school in Bucharest for diplomats' children. They could learn things about the world that they would never learn at a school here. Well, please, do think about it. I regret to say that we have to have an answer by this weekend. You see, the President hoped that if I appealed to you personally, that's why I'm here.
I'll think about it. More pie, Tim?
No, thanks.
I thought peach was your favorite.
No, thank you. Just as well to make you fat.
I don't think Tim will ever be fat. Right, honey? Come sit down.
Don't sit there.
I had a visit today from a very important man. He's the President's Foreign Affairs advisor. He wanted to know if I might reconsider accepting the nomination for ambassador.
What'd you tell him?
I told him I'd give it some thought. What do you think?
I want to go. Can we go, Mom, please? I don't want to stay here anymore.
What about Little League?
I don't care about Little League.
How do you feel, Beth? At school in a foreign country, a country where we don't speak the language?
Well, It's really what you want to do. I wouldn't mind. Not now. I really wouldn't.
Tell me what to do. Oh, God.
I think that's just about everything.
Wouldn't you know I forgot to give this to the milkman? Would you do that for me?
Yeah, of course I will.
This morning I got this terrible feeling that we'd never come back here.
Oh, come on. It's a 2-year lease.
Florence, you think I'm doing what he would have wanted me to do?
I know it.
Oh, that's Duck with the kids. I'll be out in a minute. Goodbye, my darling.
Mrs. Ashley, how do you do? My name is John Burns from the State Department.
Nice to know you. My daughter Beth and my son Tim.
Hi, Tim. Here, let me have those bags. We have a car waiting for you right over here. Mr. Rogers wanted me to meet you and your family and make sure that I got you to your lodgings safely. We've rented a nice home for you out in Falls Church, Virginia. I think you'll be comfortable there.
I'm sure we will.
Have you been to Washington before?
No, we haven't.
Well, I hope you enjoy your stay. If you have your baggage claim tags, I'll take care of your luggage.
I've got them.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You excuse me, I'll be right back.
Mom,
Yes?
do you think I could sit up front?
With Mr. Burns?
Yeah. Mom, it's Lincoln! It's Lincoln! It's humongous! And candy! I'm gonna go look around, okay? Yeah, me too.
Well, I hope you find everything satisfactory, Mrs. Ashley.
Thank you, Mr. Burns.
And if you don't need anything more for the moment, I'll be running along.
Oh, everything's fine.
Great.
Thank you.
Bye.
Who is it? Who is it?
Hello? I am the bearer of good news, Mrs. Ashley. We have had some private discussions with the Romanian government, and they have no objection to your appointment. So all we need now is confirmation by the Senate. Is everything here to your liking?
It's wonderful if I can afford it. How much does an ambassador get paid?
$65,000 a year plus housing allowance. Now, you'd better get yourself some rest. You have a big day tomorrow. Can you make yourself available at 9 in the morning?
Yes. What for?
The president, Mrs. Ashley. The president.
At last. I feel as though I already know you.
Mr. President, forgive me. I'm standing here in the Oval Office. I'm just a little overwhelmed at the moment.
I know exactly how you feel. I haven't been here very long myself. Thank you, Stanton.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
Please be seated. I hope Mr. Rogers conveyed my condolences to you.
Yes, he did.
Mrs. Ashley, we have a problem. A great many people outside this office, more than I would like to admit, simply don't think that my program can work. But we're going to fool them.
I'll do my best to live up to your expectations.
If we can make this work in Romania, we can make it work in other communist countries. And by heavens, we are going to do that, right?
Yes, sir.
Don't let them intimidate you.
I beg your pardon?
The Senate Foreign Relations Committee. They'll badger the devil out of you. But you smile sweetly and tell them without any modesty whatsoever just how wonderful you are.
Mrs. Ashley, you've been teaching political science at the University of Kansas for several years. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You're a native of Kansas.
Yes, sir.
And your parents were Romanian.
Yes, sir.
I refer to a series of articles that you wrote for Foreign Affairs magazine. Could you tell this committee the basic premise of those articles?
They are based upon the fact that several regional economic pacts currently exist in the world. And because they are mutually exclusive, they serve to divide our world into antagonistic and competitive blocks instead of uniting it. Now, Europe has the common market, the Eastern Bloc has Comcone, and then there's OECD. I'd like to see our government form a common market, with allies and adversaries alike. Countries that engage in a profitable partnership do not kill one another any more than individuals would.
Mrs. Ashley, I happen to know something about Romania myself. Indeed, ever since they turned communist in '46. Do you honestly believe that you can deal with these people?
If you'll permit me, Senator, I think you'll find that Romania wasn't actually under Russian communist control until 1947, when King Michael gave up the throne. And the communist constitution wasn't actually adopted until 1952.
Answer the question, please.
The answer is yes. I believe we can deal with them. I believe we must.
I suppose, Mrs. Ashley, you've done a good deal of traveling.
No, sir.
Been to Europe?
No, sir.
Just where have you been, Mrs. Ashley?
I've given lectures at the University of Chicago and a series of talks in Denver, Atlanta, and San Francisco.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
And you expect to represent these United States in a sensitive Iron Curtain country when your entire knowledge of it comes from living in Junction City, Kansas? Is that true?
No, sir.
No?
My knowledge comes from earning a PhD in political science. I've had 7 years of teaching that subject with an emphasis on the Iron Curtain countries. It's true, I haven't had diplomatic experience in dealing with foreign countries, but may I point out that 1/3 of our country's ambassadors are also people without previous experience?
Some people might find that very unfortunate.
I know the current problems of the Romanian people. I know what they think of the United States and why. But all they know about us is what their propaganda machines tell them. I want to convince them that the United States is not an arrogant, patronizing, war-hungry country. I'd like to show them what a typical American family is really like. After all, what's so terribly wrong in seeing us for what we really are? If I'm confirmed, Senator, I promise you I'll let that be known. Who knows? They might even like us.
Exactly. This must be quite a personal triumph for you. You expect to see the president later today?
I don't know.
Mrs. Ashley, Ben Cohen walking your boat. Could I get an interview with you later this afternoon?
Right this way, Mrs. Ashley.
I do solemnly swear I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God.
Mrs. Ashley, I am happy to say that you are now the new ambassador to the Socialist Republic of Romania.
It's crazy.
What?
Something really weird going on in this town.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mary Ashley.
Who?
The new ambassador to Romania. She's made the cover of magazines, newspapers. She hasn't even started yet.
Look, Ben, I don't like to bring this up, but I'm on a schedule here, you know? I'm booked for another party tonight.
Somebody, I don't know why, but somebody's giving her the movie star buildup.
So who cares? You got any ice cream?
Ice cream?
I love ice cream. Sometimes on a plate, sometimes in a cone. You like ice cream?
I love ice cream.
This could never happen in England. They never use rank amateurs, especially for a post like this one. I'm furious.
I don't blame you. We need a diplomat, and they send us the Wizard of Oz.
That's Wagner for you. Mrs. Ashley, won't you come in? I imagine you're very anxious to get started.
Yes, very.
You must be aware, of course, what a very sensitive, very difficult post this is.
Yes, I am. Acutely aware.
The president would be damned upset if you... Anyway, we're going to have to make an instant expert out of you. Our time's limited. You've already been marked as an easy target.
I have.
A single woman, a woman alone. They're going to take advantage of that loneliness, Mrs. Ashley. You can be assured of that. Let's get to work.
Bună dimineața. Good morning.
Excellent. You give it a very cosmopolitan accent.
From my parents, actually.
Nu înțeleg.
Nu înțeleg. It means I don't understand. I think that's one expression that's going to come in very handy.
You're going to do very well, Mrs. Ashley. Forte bene, forte bene.
Forte bene.
You will all have diplomatic immunity at your new post. You cannot be arrested for speeding, drunk driving, burning down a home, or even murder. When you die, no one can touch your body or examine any note you may have left. You don't have to pay your bills. The stores can't sue you.
Excuse me.
Go right ahead, Mrs. Ashley.
Thank you.
Hi. Hi.
What in the world are you doing?
Mike Slade. Nice to meet you.
I don't think that answers the question.
I work here. I'm your neighbor. I just thought I'd drop by and say hello.
Nothing like making yourself comfortable, Mr. Slade. They haven't furnished you with a desk of your own?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I have.
But you prefer snooping at mine.
I always heard that you Kanzanians were real friendly folk.
Tell you what, Mr. Slade. I'll give you 2 seconds to leave my office before I call the guard.
Guess I heard wrong.
And if you really work in this department, you might even consider shaving.
I used to have a wife that talked like that. I don't have her anymore.
Lucky lady. Goodbye, Mr. Slade.
My friends call me Mike.
Goodbye, Mr. Slade.
But are you enjoying Washington, Madam Ambassador?
Yes, very much, thank you. I'm afraid I'm neglecting my children.
Well, at least you've succeeded in escaping Kansas for a while.
Escaping?
I'm not too familiar with Middle America, but it must be quite tiresome on a permanent basis. All that corn and wheat and soybeans.
Yes. Yes, I suppose we are unfortunate in being able to help feed the world.
way I look at it is that automobiles run on gasoline, but I wouldn't want to live in the oil fields. To be quite honest, there's not really that much to do, is there?
Well, I guess if you don't count the ballet, the symphonies, and the theater, which we enjoy all year, there's always the softball tournaments and the county fairs, and my husband always loved the fishing at Clear Lake. You'd have to say we raise more than crops, I think. We raise honest-to-goodness human beings. If you'll excuse me.
What you don't seem to understand yet, Mrs. Ashley, is that this town takes its rules very seriously. A lot of them are stupid, I admit, but we have to live by them.
What did I do?
Last evening, you broke rule number 1. No one, but no one, leaves a party before the guest of honor, which in this case was the Brazilian ambassador.
You see, my children were expecting...
There are no children in Washington, Mrs. Ashley, only voters. You also insulted Mrs. Hart Brisbane sitting next to you at dinner.
Oh, not enough, Mr. Stupley, not nearly enough.
Good morning. I shaved, put on a new tie. You like it?
You two have met?
Not really. I found Mr. Slade at my desk.
Mike. He's your new chief of staff. Mike's on the Eastern European desk. Usually works out of Washington, but it's been decided to assign him to Romania as your deputy chief.
I promise to shave every day.
I thought an ambassador was permitted to choose her own deputy chief of staff.
That is correct. However, in this case...
Then I'm unchoosing Mr. Slade. I don't want him.
Under ordinary circumstances, Mrs. Ashley, you'd be perfectly within your rights. But in this case, the order comes from the White House.
Cheer up, Madam Ambassador. I have a way of growing on people.
Mike.
The new ambassador to Romania is taking Washington by storm. Her winning ways have charmed senators and socialites alike in a town that does not treat newcomers kindly. And in the process, she is personally demolishing opposition.
You mind telling me something?
President Ellison's controversial people.
How does someone like Mary Ashley dominate the evening news?
Don't ask me. It looks as if Mary Ashley is going to be a political and public relations success, which is exactly
You're in charge of press relations for the State Department, aren't you?
Yes.
What gives? I mean, what's behind the buildup? It's beyond any normal sort of procedure.
I can't help you. That's State Department business. I'm just a hired hand. You might write them a letter.
Sure. They'll tell me very diplomatically to go jump in the lake. And I'm gonna have to find out a few things for myself.
Like what?
Like, what happened to make her change her mind about the nomination?
Here. This should keep you out of trouble tonight.
Don't you ever knock?
Here. This should keep you out of trouble tonight.
You're the most irritating, aggravating person I've ever met.
Why do I get this constant feeling that you dislike me?
Maybe it's your arrogance, Mr. Slade.
Now, that's redundant.
Don't make fun of me.
Do you ever wonder what people are saying about you in Washington?
I don't really care what they're saying.
Well, you should. You see, what they're saying is, what right do you have to be sitting behind an ambassador's desk? I was in Romania for 4 years, Madam Ambassador, and I can tell you that it's a stick of dynamite ready to explode. So what does the government do? Send us some amateur from the sticks to play with the fuse. You are an amateur, Mrs. Ashley. If someone were going to pay you off, they should have made you ambassador to Iceland. Never stuck for an answer, huh?
Sir George! Morning, Mr. Chairman. What a beautiful day, Sir George. Thank you. Yes, it's lovely. Couldn't be better. You have further news of Mrs. Ashley, I gather. She leaves for Bucharest on Saturday. I trust it doesn't mean she'll change her mind again. Not now, no. Not with the husband gone. As a matter of fact, however, someone's been making inquiries into his death. Who? Washington Reporter. Is it going to be a problem? Oh, not at this point. But we're watching it closely. I saw her, you know, Mrs. Ashley. With Telly last week. Charming. Charming woman. What a pity.
Hey, Ben.
It's out of kilter. It's out of kilter.
What? What are you talking about?
A Cinderella comes out of Kansas. And all of a sudden they're making her into Jaclyn Onassis and Princess Di all rolled up into one. Every time she gives an interview, the reporters go crazy. It's like a feeding frenzy.
So?
I've been doing a little checking. It seems Mary Ashley first refused the post because her husband couldn't leave his medical practice.
So?
So, voila. All of a sudden, he gets killed in a very convenient automobile accident.
Ben, you're not suggesting that something...
Yeah, I'm suggesting. Ian, what do you know about the Patriots?
I never bet on football games.
The Patriots of Freedom. It was a group that surfaced in the late 70s when detente was going strong. Both right-wingers, left-wingers from several different countries.
I never heard of them.
Well, I got a rumor that they might still be around.
When you say right wing and left
I mean as far right as you can get. Both here and in Europe. Working with a dozen key communists.
But together.
Joining forces for a common cause.
What cause?
To kill the president's new program. To stop any cooperation with the Warsaw Pact countries.
But why?
The commies think it's a plot to destroy the Eastern Bloc. The right-wingers think it spells disaster for the West.
Ben, I know how tough it is for you guys to dig up a story, but I really think this is off the wall.
You got connections, Ian. How about checking this one out for me?
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Now.
Now?
Connors.
Ian Villers, Pete. Wonder if you might look up something for me in the CIA computer. It's a long shot, probably nothing there, but I promised a friend I'd try.
Yeah, well, what do you want to know?
Have you got something on an organization called the Patriots of Freedom?
No, it doesn't ring any bells with me. Patriots of Freedom. No, it doesn't ring any bells. Tell me, who wants the information?
Oh, it's Ben Cohn, you know, the reporter for the Post.
Oh, yeah, I know him. Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah. Well, look, Ian, I'll tell you, let me see what I can do, okay? And I'll get back to you.
Okay, thanks.
This is a message from the controller for Angel at 10:15 a.m. Monday. Please contact immediately. This is an urgent message from controller at 2 a.m. Monday. Contact at once. Angel, this is controller regarding contract. Respond immediately.
Yeah, it's Ben Cohn, Mrs. Ashley. Washington Post. I have some very interesting information for you. Could we have a little talk? Yeah, I could meet you tomorrow morning at Foreign Services Institute. Say 9:30. Yeah, right. Yes, I'll be there. Thank you very much. All right.
Here, can you get this? Thanks. Oh, hi, Mr. Rogers.
Hi, guys.
I'll be right out.
Okay, Mom.
There's plenty of time. Your flight doesn't leave until 5 o'clock.
Stanton, I can't thank you enough. You've been so kind to me.
Well, I'm just glad to be of some help. Now, this is your diplomatic passport, black instead of the usual blue. And these are your credentials. You should read those through carefully. You'll find that every United States government employee in Romania is subject to your authority.
Huh. Does that include Mike Slade?
Well, you still feel the same way about him?
I just don't trust that man.
Why?
I don't know. It's just a feeling.
He has an excellent record. Excellent. He's a genuine troubleshooter.
Trouble, period.
Well, if you have any problems with anyone, you just let me know. Always available to help.
Thank you. I truly appreciate that.
It has been a real pleasure. Yes. And now, Godspeed, Mrs. Mary Ashley.
Madam Ambassador, welcome to Romania. My name is Bill McKinney. I'm your military attaché.
Hello, my daughter Beth and my son Tim.
Nice to meet you. Just come right this way. Mike Slade wanted to be here, but he had some important business to take care of. This is Florian. He'll be your chauffeur.
Welcome to my country. I look forward to serve you.
Mulțumesc, domnule.
Cu plăcere.
Cu plăcere.
Very good, honey.
Bucharest is as stately as any European capital, but behind the facade, Ionescu runs this country with an iron hand.
I see. What's that building?
The Ivan Stelian prison. That's where they put anyone who disagrees with Ionescu's government.
Really?
Madam Ambassador, your residence. Tim, that's not a good idea. That's an emergency switch. You see, if there's any trouble, if anyone should attack you in the car, it activates a radio transmitter that's monitored at the embassy. That little red light goes off, and we're able to triangulate your position within seconds. But don't worry. There's very little chance of that happening.
Did you hear that, Tim?
Yes, Mom.
Your resident staff, Madam Ambassador.
Bună ziua, mulțumesc, nu vorbesc.
We speak English here, madam. All of us. We are looking forward to serving you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got this one! I get the bigger one.
Oh, you can just put those down there. Thank you. Well, here we go, my darling.
Madam Ambassador, I'm Gunnery Sergeant Hughes. They call me Gunny.
Hello, Sergeant.
If you just follow me, please. Now, the archway directly ahead leads to our commissary in the basement, and right over here is our ballroom. This is where all of the embassy parties are held. And actually, if you'll just take a look right over here, Madam Ambassador, right up here at the ceiling, I'll show you what we call our ambassador's folly.
too hot to keep open in the summer and too cold in winter. Some ambassador had it installed years ago, but no one seems to use it much anymore. Well, now I'll show you the conference room.
Well, I see that you got here safely. These are the people who will be your department heads.
Please, be seated.
Starting on your right here is James Hatfield, your economic advisor. Lucas Janklow, administrative. Eddie Maltz, political.
Hi there.
Ted Thompson, agriculture. David Victor, commerce. Colonel McKinney, of course, you know. Dorothy Stone here will be your personal secretary. You'll have plenty of time to get to know everyone. We are here, of course, to serve you at your discretion. You can replace any of us at any time.
Thank you, Mr. Slade. I just want you all to know that I'm looking forward to working with you and that I'm going to do everything possible to make our country and Romania the closest of allies. You realize I'm certain that I'm going to need all the help I can get. Are there any questions any of you would like to ask me? Thank you. That's all.
I know you haven't had a chance to see anything yet. There's a commissary in the basement, a pharmacy on the main floor. Of course, if anyone in the embassy gets seriously ill, we fly them to Frankfurt.
Why?
No member of the embassy is allowed to go to a local hospital in an Iron Curtain country.
I see. Which one of the employees here is with the CIA?
I think that you better come with me. Ambassador Ashley?
Gentlemen?
This is the bubble room. It's the only room in the building that can't be bugged. These Marine Guards are on duty 24 hours a day, and each one of them have been screened carefully. We don't want a repeat of what happened in Moscow. Excuse us? Just keep in mind, you are in enemy territory.
How do you handle that, not being able to talk freely?
We do an electronic sweep of the building every morning. We find their bugs, we pull them out. It only lasts a few hours, then they replace them and we pull those out.
Seems like a great waste of time.
It is, but it's their playground. We play by their rules or we blow the game.
Who is the CIA man on the staff?
Edward Maltz, your political counselor.
Is he the only CIA man?
Right. Why?
I like to know these things. I like to know everything.
Your Excellency. May I present Madam Ambassador Ashley from the United States.
My great country is honored by your presence.
Thank you, Your Excellency. This is my daughter Beth and my son Tim.
So, you have something for me?
Oh, yes, of course. Here you are.
I accept this letter of credence from your president. And I announce that you're now officially the American ambassador to my country.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
I have arranged a reception for you next week. We have a saying here. An ambassador arrives in tears because he knows he will be spending years in a foreign place, away from his friends. But when he lives in tears because he must leave his new friends in a country he has grown fond of. I hope you will grow to love our country, Madam Ambassador.
I'm sure we will. Good day, Your Excellency. What do you think of Mike Slade?
He's the best. Is that what you wanted to know?
No. I wanted to talk to you because I feel the morale of the embassy is rather low. I wanted to know whether it's because of me or whether it's always been that way.
Do you want an honest answer?
Please.
You're a political appointee in an embassy of career diplomats. That's first and foremost.
Go on.
And you're a woman. Male career officers don't like taking orders from a woman. The Romanians are a lot worse.
I see.
And I've never seen so much publicity about a new ambassador before. It's made them against you before you ever got here.
Them, and I suppose that includes yourself. Thank you. I appreciate your honesty. But I'll tell you this, Dorothy, and you may certainly repeat it if you wish. I am here to stay. No matter how anyone in this embassy might feel about me, I am not leaving until I've done what I've been appointed to do. Is that clear?
Yes.
Now, is there anything you want to say?
I believe you. The agricultural, the economic, and the commerce consulates would like to see you.
What's all this?
3 new surveys and the wireless files on U.S. developments.
It's going to take me a week to get through all of this.
I hope not.
The entire agricultural program is a disaster.
My advice is no more helping hand.
So if they don't buy farm goods from us, they buy them from South America. We can't let that happen, can we?
Absolutely not.
Right.
Come in.
Hi, how you doing?
Great, how are you?
Okay. It's really beginning to look like home around here.
Well, it's not home, but it's real interesting. I like it here.
Do you really, honey?
Yeah, I do.
I'm so glad. I'll see you downstairs in a few minutes.
Okay. Mom?
Yes?
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Makes me feel so good.
You better go talk to Tim.
Why?
I don't know. He's been upset all day.
Thank you for telling me. What's the matter? You can tell me.
It's spooky.
What's spooky?
This place. I don't like it.
Oh, honey. You've only been here a few days. Wait until you get started at school and you make some new friends.
I don't want to make any friends.
Tam, you don't mean that.
It's too far.
Far? I don't understand.
From him. From Dad. It's like when I forget him here and how he was. And I don't want to do that.
Honey, how could we ever do that? I mean, even if we lived on the moon, we could never ever forget Daddy.
Do you miss him still?
Every morning, when I wake wake up, I still reach out for him.
I want him back. I miss him.
Honey.
I miss him.
No. Americans have never understood. My people are descendants of both the ancient Dacians and the Romans, going back to the year 105 AD. Doormats. We have been Europe's doormats for centuries. The Huns, the Slavs, the Mongols have wiped their feet on us.
But you've managed to survive, Your Excellency.
And do you know why? Because of the spirit and the fire of the Romanian people. They trust me. I rule them well. Strong, firm leadership. Oh, Nico. Have you met my son?
I've been looking forward to it.
It is my great pleasure, Madam Ambassador. I've heard many nice things about you.
That's very kind of you to say that, Nico. I think you have a future diplomat here, Your Excellency.
A diplomat? Nico? Never. I have other plans for my son. Nico will be the next president. I'm going to remarry Kuyal.
Really?
I know.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
I thought she might give me a lift.
You don't have a car?
I let my chauffeur go home.
Why?
I thought we might have a talk.
About what?
Be careful of Ionescu. The charm has surfaced. Don't believe him, don't trust him. People have a way of just disappearing here.
You may think that because the man is charming, I'm going to believe every word he says. You're mistaken, Mr. Slade. I know my job.
For Pete's sake, lady.
Oh, it's been a wonderful talk.
By the way, I made arrangements for the children to attend the American school. The kids come from all over. The teachers are excellent.
When it comes to my children, I'll make the arrangements. I do thank you for your concern.
Good night, Madam Ambassador.
Good night, Mr. Slade.
Your assignment is to ensure that Mary Ashley goes ahead with the 4th of July party as planned. We've hired an expert, and you're to give that person any help necessary. Oh, and make sure the children are there. This should be a festive occasion. I believe that fireworks are traditional on the 4th of July. Mary Ashley and her children will be killed.
There is someone here, right here in this embassy, who's trying to kill me.
I tell you what I'd do, Mrs. Ashley. I'd go home, right now.
Now you believe in what you're doing, and you must not let anyone frighten you away.
reason I'm calling, Mrs. Ashley, is that I would like to place you in nomination as my first ambassador to Romania.
Is she really that essential to us?
The controller can think of no one else who would suit our purpose so well.
Yeah, okay, I'm on my way.
Quite frankly, Mrs. Ashley, the president is hoping that you might reconsider his offer.
I do solemnly swear I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
You are an amateur, Mrs. Ashley. If someone were going to pay you off, they should have made you ambassador to Iceland.
I got a present for you.
What?
The
Madam Ambassador, welcome to Romania. My name is Bill McKinney.
Nobody cheats on me.
I accept this letter of credence from your president. And I announce that you're now officially the American ambassador to my country.
Oh, and make sure the children are there. This should be a festive occasion. I believe that fireworks are traditional on the 4th of July. Mary Ashley and her children will be killed.
Good morning, Dorothy. Oh, good morning. I put all the morning dispatches on your desk. Here's a dossier that was hand-delivered by Army Intelligence from Mr. Stuckley's office. Everything we know about Romanian officials. Everything.
Personal things?
Yes, ma'am. But I'm sure they know all there is to know about you.
Won't get them very far.
Good morning, Madam Ambassador. Well, here we are again. I hope you slept well.
Do you spend your life walking into places unannounced, Mrs. Slade?
Lesson number 1. Whenever possible, the ambassador starts her day by having coffee with her deputy chief of staff. That's a little present from me to you.
Thank you.
Sugar?
No sugar, no cream.
I brew it myself. Great stuff.
Is there a lesson number 2, Mr. Slade?
I'm glad you asked. This machine, this is a shredder.
I know what it is.
Last night when you went out, you left some papers on your desk. By now, they've been photographed and sent to Moscow.
What papers?
Oh, a list of cosmetics. of facial tissue, of toilet paper, other personal things you ordered.
Earth-shaking.
The cleaning women work for the Securitate. They're grateful for any scrap of information they can get, and they're ingenious at putting things together. That also goes for the servants that work at your house. How do you like it so far?
What?
The coffee.
It's coffee.
Thanks. You see, the Securitate here is the KGB and the police force wrapped into one. 1 out of every 3 Romanians works for it in some way. Not that they get paid. That could at least raise their standard of living, which is the lowest in Europe. Glad you came?
Yes. Yes, I am, Mr. Slade.
Mr. Maltz is here.
Have him come in.
Mr. Maltz.
Hi.
What's up, Eddie?
Got a tough one. There's an American girl here, student, University of Bucharest, exchange student. She's running some problems with the Romanian...
Excuse me, Mr. Maltz. Did you wish to see me?
Oh, right. Yes, we've got a problem. There's an American girl, 19. She was arrested last night for possession of drugs. That's an extremely serious offense around here.
What kind of drugs?
Marijuana. Just a joint, she says. She's a student, and right now she's scared to death.
What will they do to her?
The usual penalty is 5 years.
And what can we do about it?
Well, you could always use your charms on the head of Securitate.
Name's Hannah Murphy. She says she was framed. She may have a point.
Why?
Well, it seems she had an affair with a Romanian policeman.
Dumb.
They spent the night at her house, and then he turned her in.
He turned her in?
I've been trying to tell you. We, Madam Ambassador, we are the enemy here. It may be all buddies and hands across the sea because we're trying to woo them away from Russia. But when you get down to the gritty, they're still communists, and we are the enemy.
The kids come from 28 different countries. And there's this Italian guy that keeps staring at me.
He was staring at all the girls.
He was not. Should I ignore him?
Do you want to ignore him?
No.
Ask if he's nearsighted. Once you get him talking, he won't stare at him. Oh! What is that?
It's a dead Romanian frog. We're gonna dissect it tomorrow. They got a great science lab.
Tim, take it off my desk. Now. Well, you two are doing pretty well. No big problems?
No, Mike took care of us.
Mike?
Mr. Slade, he told us to call him Mike.
What does he have to do with school?
He showed up there today.
Yeah, he introduced us to the teachers, didn't he tell you?
No.
Yeah, he knows a lot of the teachers.
He even knows some of the kids, too. He's really a neat guy. Don't you think so, Mom?
Yes. Yes, very neat.
And I've arranged a visit to the Ivan Stelian prison at the end of the week. I'll let you know when that's confirmed.
Thank you.
The first 3 parties start tonight.
3?
You got 21 altogether this week.
That's impossible.
Well, with 75 embassies in Bucharest, they're always celebrating something.
Dorothy, would you tell Janklow, Thompson, and Maltz I'd like to see them?
They're in conference right now.
Conference? With whom?
With all the other consulars.
Are you saying there's a staff meeting going on without me?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you telling me that this isn't the first time?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what else is going on here that I should know about and don't.
Well, they are sending cables without your authorization.
Good afternoon. I won't take up much of your time because I know how busy all of you are. It's come to my attention that senior staff meetings are being held without my knowledge. From this moment on, anyone attending such a meeting will be instantly dismissed. It's also come to my attention that some of you are sending cables without informing me. Yesterday, Mr. Hatfield, you sent an unauthorized cable to the State Department. I've made reservations for you on a plane leaving for Washington at noon tomorrow. You are no longer a member of this embassy. The next time anyone in this room sends a cable without my knowledge or fails to give me full support, that person will be on a plane back to the United States. That's all for now. Mr. Slade, I'd like to thank you for being so kind to Beth and Tim at school yesterday.
No problem. They're good kids.
How did I do?
I'd say it was neat, but not gaudy. The shortest and most effective staff meeting I think I've ever witnessed. Well done, Madam Ambassador.
Thank you.
You will note, gentlemen, that events in Romania are proceeding on schedule. I believe we've had the opportunity to look over the Controller's recommendation in reference to the Argentinian known as Angel. The price might appear to be a bit steep, but of course we are now dealing with an incident which may have enormous international consequences. Are there any questions? Any comments at all on the recommendation? Well, make no mistake, the contract will specifically call for the assassination of Mrs. Ashley and of her 2 children. May I remind you to observe the usual precautions on leaving. Thank you, gentlemen.
Sitting there. I give you 10 minutes.
Mary Ashley, the American ambassador.
I'll die. I'll die if I have to.
Just tell me what happened.
I met this policeman. We went out together a couple of times. He seemed so nice. Then one day last week, well, we made love. And afterward, we shared some marijuana that a friend had given me. It was just one joint. When I woke up in the morning, he was gone. The police showed up. They stood there watching me while I got dressed. And they brought me here. 5 years, they told me.
Hannah, listen to me. I'm going to do everything in my power to help you. You understand? Everything. Please believe that. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay.
You're wasting your time. The girl is guilty as hell.
Well, you can't just walk away from her. What's his name?
Who?
The head of the Security.
Estrasa.
Captain Aurel Estrase. Good afternoon, Madam Ambassador.
Good afternoon.
You wish to talk to me?
Yes, please be seated.
Thank you.
I would like to discuss the case of Hannah Murphy.
Oh, yes, the drug peddler. Forgive me, my English not very good.
I can understand you.
You see, we have strict laws here with drugs.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that. I wish we had stricter laws in my country.
Good, we agree.
Yes, anyone who sells drugs deserves to go to jail.
Yes.
Hannah Murphy, however, did not sell drugs. She offered to give some marijuana to this man.
It is the same thing.
No, not quite. The man she was with is a lieutenant on your police force. He smoked marijuana too. Has he been punished?
Why should he be? He was merely gathering evidence?
I understand he has a wife and 3 children?
The American girl tricked him into bed, so to speak.
So to speak. The girl is 19 and the lieutenant is 45?
Age has nothing to do with it.
We're quite alone. I had this room checked for any recording devices before you arrived.
So?
Does the lieutenant's wife know about her husband's affair?
Why should she?
It sounds to me like a clear case of entrapment. Captain, I think we should make the whole affair public to the international press.
There would be no point.
Why?
Well, because I see...
Because the lieutenant just happens to be your son-in-law?
Certainly not.
Did he get a promotion over this?
We only wish to see justice done.
So do I. It would seem that your son-in-law has trapped other young female tourists, even sleeping with him as he did Hannah Murphy. However, I see no reason for your daughter to know how her husband conducts himself. No, I think it'd be much better for all concerned if you quietly released Hannah Murphy from jail and I shipped her back to the United States. What do you say, Captain?
You are a very interesting lady.
Thank you. I'll expect Miss Murphy in my office this afternoon. I'll see that she's put on the first plane out of Bucharest.
I will use what little influence I have.
Yes, I'm sure you will, Captain.
Madame.
So where is he?
Where people don't find him.
Well, tell him it's confirmed. He leaves for Bucharest next week.
More.
What?
And he don't like to do this bad thing with the children. He want 2 million pounds. English pounds.
Well, maybe we forget the whole thing, huh?
Okay, sure.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Good. Hey. My baby, he's out of town. If you know what I mean.
Get out of here.
Please, you will help us. You will help us.
The Americans will help, I know.
Yes, it is she.
Iskadash, Shemera. Biamal Divrachirute, Biamal Malkate, with Hayakon. We make him, the Qualities Israel.
Mr. Slade, those people... Good morning.
What do you know? Just couldn't wait for my coffee.
Those people outside at the gate, who are they?
Romanian Jews, for the most part, waiting to file applications for visas.
Why don't they go to the Israeli embassy?
Well, they think we have a better chance of helping them. They're wrong, of course. It's a cat and mouse game. Ionescu lets a few people out of the country every year.
Well, there must be some way we can help them.
We're not talking about getting a drug case dismissed here, not this time. No, this is government ironclad policy. Here you are.
Thank you. Tell me, Mr. Slade. Mike, do you think it might be possible for us to have a little better relationship?
Sure. Why not? I was thinking this morning, well, it occurred to me that you might like to go to the theater this evening.
I'd like that very much.
There's a Romanian ballet company playing. Karina Sokolai, big star. It's supposed to be pretty good.
That sounds very nice.
Well, I have 3 tickets. You could take Tim and Beth.
Thank you.
Hello. Yes, just a moment. Dorothy.
Yes, Dorothy. Churchman?
Oh, let me take that. Dorothy, tell them that nothing has changed. We still can't help them. Right. Thank you. Those people have a chance to go to a church in Utah, but they'll never get the visas. Here are your tickets. I'll have Florian pick you up at 8.
Thank you.
I don't want to go. Do I have to?
Of course not.
It's my Italian friend.
Who?
From school.
Oh.
I invited him to dinner. Is that all right? There's a million servants here.
Oh, of course. Where's Tim?
In his room with Ivan.
Ivan?
A friend from school. They're helping each other with their homework. I don't think he's gonna want to see any Romanians dance either.
You're probably right.
Have fun.
Hello, I'm Mary Ashley.
The
Wanna
American
thank you for a
ambassador.
lovely evening.
I need your help. I cannot stay here. I have spoken out too freely. I will not be allowed to dance here much longer. I want to come to America. Thank you so much for your kind words.
Ah, Madam Ambassador, a front tire is flat. We have no spare, but I have sent for one.
Well, how long will it take?
Oh, maybe an hour.
How far are we from the residence?
About 5 blocks, eh? Straight down the Calamoshalor to the Central Square.
Maybe I'll walk. I'll see you in the morning, Florian.
At the square, turn it to Strada Rossetti, and you are there.
Strada Rossetti. Okay.
Excuse me. Are you lost?
I'm afraid so. I'm looking for the Strada Rossetti.
Sveni! What happened here?
These men tried to force me into their car. If it hadn't been for this gentleman.
Did you get hurt?
No.
Did they take anything?
No.
If they were going to steal your purse, they would have taken it on the street.
Who would want to kidnap me?
Excuse us, Corporal. Well, it certainly wouldn't be Ionescu's men who are trying to kidnap you. He, at the moment, is trying to keep relations on an even keel.
Someone looking for ransom?
In this country, there wouldn't be a trial, only a firing squad. I tell you what I'd do, Mrs. Ashley. I'd go home, right now.
Mr. Slade, I was appointed to this post by the President of the United States. And until he fires me, I don't want you or anyone else telling me to go home.
All you'd have to do is send in your letter of resignation, pack up your kids, and go back to Kansas, where you'd be safe.
I expect these people to work with me, not against me. Now, if that's too much for you to handle, Mr. Slade, then I strongly suggest that you make other plans.
Madam Ambassador, I'll pass on your message.
My country considers this loan from the United States an opportunity for both our countries to open the door to freer trade policies.
I appreciate that, Mr. President. And I've already made an urgent plea to the Senate Foreign Affairs Committee.
In that case, let me say that we are depending upon you, Madam Ambassador.
You have my promise. I'll do everything I can.
No, of course I miss Paris, but I hope that next year The lady in distress.
You two know each other?
We haven't been officially introduced.
Madame Ambassador, may I present to you Dr. Louis Deforge?
Madame Ambassador? Oh, I beg your pardon, I had no idea. I should have recognized you, of course.
You did better than that. You may have saved my life.
Oh, so you are the one. I heard of your unfortunate experience.
Well, it would have been unfortunate if Dr. Deforge hadn't come along.
Yes, well, I was just in the right place at the right time.
If you two will excuse me, please.
Tell me, why did you run away when the police came?
Well, it is not good policy to get involved with the Romanian police. They have a way of arresting witnesses. And as a mere doctor attached to the French embassy, I have no diplomatic immunity. Oh, some champagne.
Oh, no, thank you.
You don't like champagne?
Well, I suppose that's heresy to a Frenchman.
Confession, I have never cared much for it myself. But I have found that if someone offers a toast, as they always do, then simply raise your arm. Nobody ever notices the difference.
Really?
Look, please. I hope you will forgive me if I seem to desert you the other evening. I've been extremely wary of political entanglement ever since I was in Beirut.
Beirut?
Yes, I was there when we were fighting the terrorists. And, well, they discovered my identity and exploded a bomb in the house where I was living. My wife and 2 children were killed in the explosion.
How horrible. I'm so sorry.
It is said that time heals. But I no longer believe it.
Neither do I.
Ladies and gentlemen, a toast to our host country. And to its president, Alexandros Ionescu.
Congratulations. The Foreign Relations Committee granted the Romanian loan. You pulled it off, apparently.
I'd like you to make me an appointment to see President Ionescu as soon as it can be arranged.
I'll go along with you.
No, I'll do this alone.
Oh, Madam Ambassador. I understand you bring good news.
No, I'm afraid not.
Are you telling me the loan was not approved?
Last-minute difficulty.
Difficulty?
Yes. I'm just as disappointed as you are, but... Well, the vote was favorable until one of the senators learned that some Romanian church officials were being denied visas to visit Utah. You see, the senator is a Mormon, and he was very upset.
Utah?
That's right, Mr. President.
Well, I don't see any difficulty there.
No?
Our church officials are free to come and go as they please.
But they were told that they couldn't...
We have a far more lenient policy toward them than any other Eastern Bloc country.
Yes, I know.
They may leave whenever they wish.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I'm sure the senator from Utah will be very pleased. Good day.
Good day.
Your Excellency.
Mrs. Ashley, I wish to point out that I was correct in the matter of the church officials. There was no difficulty.
A misunderstanding, I'm sure. My government was very pleased to proceed with the loan.
But of course, your people recognize our mutual interests.
I might point out to you, however, that there are other people here, Romanians, who wish to leave the country, and they are being denied that right.
They are dissidents, troublemakers.
Only because they...
The caviar. Have you tasted the caviar? It's fresh beluga. You must try it. Excuse me.
He's right about the caviar. It's delicious. What is it they say? We have got to stop meeting like this?
Considering the amount of parties in Bucharest, that would be impossible.
Do you know a little restaurant called the Tau?
I'm afraid not.
Oh, it's a charming little place. I made a reservation for one. They would be thrilled if I arrived with the American ambassador.
This evening?
I know. It's out of the question, but I thought I would ask.
I'd love to.
Really? You have 2 children, I understand.
Yes. A boy and a girl.
And if you wish to, bring them along.
Oh, no, they're busy tonight.
Well, then. Yeah, at what time should I pick you up?
I have some work to finish at the embassy, and I'd like to see the children. Would 8 be all right?
8 would be fine. And now, when I look back on those years in the underground in Beirut, they seem so far away. Forgive me, I'm afraid I'm going on too much here about...
Oh, no, not at all.
Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing.
Tell me.
Oh, there's just a little trouble at the embassy this evening. Tell me, how long were you there?
3 years, fighting the various terrorist factions.
But you're a doctor.
Yes. You see, I believe every man must risk something, so that in the end he does not risk everything. But had I known the price I would have to pay, would be the lives of my wife and children.
Have you never thought of marrying again?
No, she was a remarkable woman. I sometimes think no one could replace her. Perhaps I came here to Romania mostly to try and forget. But there is something here. I confess I feel an evilness about this country. Oh, not the people. They are lovely, but they are quite helpless. They are virtually slaves. Oh, I shall be glad when my tour of duty is over and I return to France.
There are some people who think I should go home.
No, impossible. I have made inquiries. Everyone who knows you here is very impressed. They say you've brought an image of America that is most engaging, most intelligent.
Well, I'm trying.
Oh, you believe in what you're doing. I know that. And you must not let anyone frighten you away.
Is she in?
Yes, what's the matter?
Excuse me, but your limousine, the alarm just went off. They're tracking it. It's near the American school.
The children.
Mary, I just wanted you to know that the president is very pleased with the outcome of the surplus wheat sale and the Romanian loan.
He says his faith in you is completely justified.
Thank you, Stanton. Tell him how much I appreciate that.
I certainly will. I'm going to be leaving for China. I'll be gone for a couple of weeks.
How can I reach you?
Through my office. They'll always know where to contact me. And, well, you just keep up that good work, Mary,
Thank you. Goodbye, Stanton. I'm leaving early today, Dorothy. I have the party at the Chinese Embassy.
What's the matter?
I don't know. I haven't been feeling all that great this last week. No energy. Nothing. See you tomorrow.
And then, just as we are about to sit down to dinner, this pig, he jumps on the table and starts to scream. Well, in French, of course. Well, I say to my wife, I say, look, I like pork, but this is too much. But I must tell you, this little pig, he knew what he was doing. I mean, after that, my wife couldn't bear to have him killed. He became a pet for the children.
Honestly?
Honestly, cross my heart. Now, Tim, I must tell you the story of the bicycle with no bars to handle.
Handlebars.
Right, you steer with your feet. Your children are delightful.
Thank you. They told me they'd like to see you again.
Really? Oh. You know, Beth reminds me very much of my elder daughter. So beautiful. Well, I think it is time. You realize what I am doing? I am reliving my past. Or perhaps, is it my future? I can't tell you what this evening has meant to me.
Good night.
Coffee for two? No cream? No sugar? A little strong, just the way you like it.
Thank you.
I couldn't set that meeting for you. Ionescu has canceled all appointments.
How come?
It's his son. The boy's come down with botulism poisoning. Apparently it's very serious.
Botulism?
The boy was visiting friends in Germany. They've had a big epidemic there.
Well, we'll get the anti-serum to him.
We're told the epidemic has used all their supplies, including ours.
Dorothy, get me the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta, Georgia, right away.
You're wasting your time. They could supply this stuff, but you can never get it here on time. Not for botulism poisoning. It works too quickly.
Yes, I can hear you very clearly, Madam Ambassador, but I don't think I can help you. You see, in order to requisition a supersonic jet, you've got to have an approval from the Secretary of Defense, and then you can Yes, I am listening, but I can't possibly authorize an operation like this without an approval from the Secretary of...
General, if Ionescu's son dies because you wasted time on this, I promise you that word of your refusal is going to be communicated to the White House. Do I make myself clear?
Your Excellency, we have communicated with everyone, both Eastern and Western Europe. They have nothing.
I don't want to hear it. He's not going to die. Do you understand me? He's not going to die.
issue, idiot, is the type E butchery associated with canned food, mostly fish. The symptoms can appear within hours, and then, if you don't have the right serum, then, well, it's one of those...
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, do you know Dr. Defoe?
Yes, Doctor, I just came from the airport. The plane refueled in mid-Atlantic. It landed in Bucharest about an hour ago. The foreign minister picked up the anti-serum, and it's on its way to the palace.
Oh, thank God.
You have a hell of a lot of clout, Mrs. Ashley. Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, my God. It must have cost $500,000.
I think you may be very close.
I can't believe anyone ever got a thank you note like that before. What are you going to do?
Return it, of course.
He might get insulted.
I'll risk it.
Wow, this is heavy.
You better get a couple of Marine Guards to take it back.
I'll get a company.
So, you return my gift.
Yes, Your Excellency.
What do you want?
I don't want anything. I don't make trades for children's lives.
Nevertheless, his life was saved. And I must offer you something.
No. Is that all, Your Excellency? May I go?
I will not be indebted to you.
Your Excellency, I have 2 children of my own. I think I can understand how you feel.
If you were to make a wish, any wish, what would it be?
A wish? I don't know what you mean.
You know what I mean.
There's nothing.
I insist.
Each and every day, I've been trying to get your foreign minister to lift the restrictions on those people who want to emigrate from Romania. Those people whom you call dissidents.
Why? Why would any good Romanian wish to leave his mother country? I don't call them dissidents. They are dissidents. They are troublemakers. And the trouble they make will do them no good. Good day, Madam Ambassador.
Good day. I'd like all your reports in by July 1st with your timesheets. Colonel McKinney, could you get me those security evaluations by Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. That's all. I'll see you in a moment.
Book 3.
Are you all right?
Yes. It's nothing.
You sure?
I'm fine. Is there something you want to say, Mr. Slade?
Yes, something confidential. That's why I'd rather talk to you in here.
Well?
It concerns you and Dr. DeForge.
I'm listening.
There is an embassy advisement, you know, about involvement with foreigners.
Thank you. I appreciate your concern. But whom I see is no one's business.
It's the business of everyone in the embassy.
Because he's a foreigner?
Dr. DeForge is an enemy agent.
What?
He is an enemy agent.
I don't believe it.
Think about how you met him.
Very fortunately, as it happened.
Exactly. The poor damsel in distress, the knight in shining armor. It's the oldest trick in the world. I've used it a dozen times myself.
I don't give a damn whether you have or you haven't. He fought against terrorists in Lebanon. He lost his wife and his children there.
Your doctor never had a wife or children.
Eddie, I'd like to ask you a favor.
Sure.
I'd like some information on a Dr. Louis Deforge. He's attached to the French embassy here.
Anything in particular?
I'd like to know if he was married and had children.
I'll get on it right away. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Let's see. Married in Dijon, wife's name Renee, 2 daughters ages 10 and 12. They were killed in Beirut in a terrorist bombing when he was working for the underground there. Here you go, ma'am.
Thank you, Eddie. You can shred it.
The speciality of the house is game. I would suggest the venison.
I'll try it. My first.
I've no deer in Kansas.
No, not at the corner grocery.
Fantastic.
What?
You, sitting there with the river and the trees behind you. Breathtaking. I wish I were a painter and not a doctor. Perhaps one day you would give me a photograph.
Of course. And perhaps I can have one of you.
No, as a matter of fact, the only photograph I have is, well, it's an old one that was taken in Beirut with my family.
May I see it?
Really like to?
I'd love to.
Of course.
What a lovely family.
That was taken 2 months before they were killed. Oh, for so long now, I have felt like a ghost, wandering around, lost. So helpless without her. Even the trivial things, I did not know how to cook a meal or make a bed even.
I guess we're all victims in a way. I remember reading something after my husband died that stayed with me ever since. I suppose it's rather poetic and...
Tell me.
I read that our destinies are decided by a cosmic roll of the dice. The winds of fortune that blow from the windmills of the gods.
You believe it?
Yes, I think I do.
For you, madame. Are you ill?
Yes,
perhaps I should send for the doctor.
No. No. Would you have Mihai call the Chilean ambassador and tell him I'm not feeling well?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
He's the smartest boy in the whole class. Children, please, not so loud. Your mother's not feeling very well.
What's wrong?
I do not know. Oh, madame!
Call the French embassy. I need Dr. Defoe.
Yes, ma'am.
It's all right, I'm here now. How long has this been going on?
The last few days.
What have you been eating?
Nothing.
Have you been thirsty?
Yes.
Pains, muscle cramps, nausea?
Oh, yes, all three. What is it? What's wrong with me?
It's all right, thank you, Carmen. Can you remember precisely when it started?
The day after we got back from the mountains.
Do you remember having anything to eat or drink that made you feel ill afterward?
No.
You have breakfast here at the residence with the children. And the children are fine.
Yes.
You have lunch in the same place every day.
No. Sometimes at the embassy and sometimes not.
Is there any place you regularly have dinner or anything you regularly eat? Mary, stay awake. Listen to me. Any person you eat with constantly.
It's just a virus, isn't it?
Mary, it's very difficult for me to say this. It's unthinkable, but I think someone is poisoning you.
Oh.
In fact, I would suspect it's arsenic, except I know that arsenic is not for sale in Bucharest.
Oh my God. Who would want to
try to think more carefully. Is there any kind of set routine you have involving food or drink every day? Yes?
No.
What is it?
Well, Mike Slade brings me coffee every day. He's always there waiting.
But what possible reason could he have?
Ever since I got here, from the very beginning, he's been trying to get me out of the embassy. Oh, I just can't believe it.
All right, we'll talk about this later. The first thing we have to do is to get you well again. I'm going to give you an antidote for arsenic called Bal. I'll alternate that with penicillamine.
The servants.
It's all right. They won't have to know. Don't worry, my darling. We'll have you up in no time. There you are.
How was she?
Much better. Your mother is going to be all right. She'd like to see you if you want to come up in about 5 minutes. What do you think? Are you well enough to go back to work?
I will be Monday, I'm sure. You know, this is twice now that you've saved my life.
Well, I think we damn well better find out who's trying to take it.
How?
Well, I've been checking out the various embassies, all but yours, which refuses to give me the information. Now, none of the others carry any arsenic of any kind. So if you were to drop by the pharmacy in your embassy, tell them that you have some trouble with insects in your garden and ask for a pesticide called Antol. It's loaded with arsenic.
And if they have it?
Anyone who checks out a poison has to sign for it. And the signatures will be on the form. You understand?
Yes. Yes, I certainly do.
Madam Ambassador, good morning. Welcome back. Guess that flu really knocked you out.
Yes, it did almost. Excuse me, I wonder if you could help me.
In a minute, I just have to...
Oh, Madam Ambassador, I'm sorry. I didn't see you. Are you feeling better?
Much better, thank you.
Good. Can I get you something? Antihistamine?
No. It's something else entirely. You see, my gardener tells me we're having trouble with insects, so I was wondering if you might have something, it's called Antol.
As a matter of fact, we do. An infestation of ants is very unusual this time of year. You're the second person who's inquired.
Oh?
Yes, you'll have to sign for it.
Oh, Madam Ambassador, it is wonderful to see you again.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Are you feeling better?
Much better.
Well enough for that 4th of July party this year. I could easily cancel it.
No? We're gonna have it, as usual.
All right.
Okay. Mr. Malt?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a coded message which I'd like to go to Washington right away. Could you do that for me?
Sure can.
It's for Stanton Rogers. It's very important.
Right away, ma'am.
Look, I don't know how she got past the guards. All I know, she's here now. Madam Ambassador, there's a woman here called Ines Acoli. She's in your office. She just walked past the guards.
Oh, please, please, you must help me.
Come, sit down. Sit down.
Please. I want to go to your country. I can stay here no longer.
We can keep you here at the embassy for a brief period,
Oh,
but...
please, please.
I'll do everything I can to help you, but I can't make any promises.
Oh, God bless you. God bless you, Mrs. Ashley. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
Hello. This is Louis Desforges. I thought perhaps you might like to know that Mrs. Ashley is going to live.
Well, why shouldn't she?
Because someone has been poisoning her.
What the hell are you talking about?
It is quite possible you know what I'm talking about.
I haven't the faintest idea, but if you're suggesting...
Yes, I am suggesting.
Well, you're wrong. I don't know where you got all of this, but you've gone off the deep end. I think we ought to get together, talk about it, get it squared away.
I agree. I shall be in Ploesti all day, but I shall be back this evening.
What time? We could meet at Bennyassa Park on your way back.
Say about 7.
I'm glad you could come. I think we can clear this up rather quickly. You said on the telephone that you thought someone was trying to poison Mary Ashley?
I know it.
And you think I'm responsible?
You could have placed it in her coffee a little at a time.
And have you reported this to anyone?
Not yet. I wanted to talk to you first because, well, frankly, I find it extremely difficult to believe.
Believe it.
What?
I said believe it.
I am so sorry.
About what?
About Dr. Desforges.
What about him?
They found his body this morning in Bennyassa Park, shot to death.
I'm trying to reach Stanton Rogers. Please have him call the moment you're in touch. Yes?
I think you're making a mistake. Keeping the Sokolai woman here. I mean, she is their leading ballerina. A national treasure in this country. We can hold her here for a while, but they will never let her leave Romania.
We'll find a way. standing by. I've been standing by.
Hello, Mary.
Did you receive my cable, Stanton?
Cable? No.
Yes, I had Eddie Malt send you a coded cable.
Well, I never received it. I was informed, however, that you were trying to call me.
Please, listen very carefully. There is someone here, I mean right here in this embassy, who's trying to kill me.
Good God.
And I know who it is. Stanton, are you sure this line is secure?
Yes, absolutely.
Every morning since I've been here, a small amount of arsenic was placed in my coffee. Slowly, systematically, I was being poisoned. And every morning, that coffee was brought to me by Mike Slade.
No, I can't. Look here, isn't it possible that he didn't know the coffee was tainted?
He made it himself in his office.
Couldn't someone else have had access to that coffee?
Stanton, you don't understand. He has been trying to get me out of Romania ever since I arrived here.
I will inform the president at once. In the meantime, I will arrange for some extra security for you.
We're having the 4th of July embassy party on Saturday night.
Don't worry. He will be in custody by then.
Why is he doing this?
I don't know. But we're damn well going to find out.
McKinney.
It's Stanton Rogers, Bill.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
I want you to pick up Mike Slade. Hold him in close custody until you hear from me.
Slade?
Don't let him talk to anyone.
I'm afraid there may be a problem with that, sir. I've been trying to reach him myself for the last few hours. No one seems to know where he is. I've checked all my sources. He's disappeared.
Gentlemen, members of the Eastern Committee, I am pleased to report that we have reached the final phase of our Bucharest operation. Sir George, if you will.
The incident will occur at the 4th of July party at the American Embassy. Arrangements have been made for international press and television coverage. Mrs. Ashley, her 2 children, and her guests will all be involved.
We have no knowledge of how precisely this will be carried out, nor do we wish to have such knowledge. But I'm sure we're all aware here of the very grave risks, and indeed the possible Holocaust which may follow.
Mr. Chairman, we stand beside you.
I would like to say at this point that I think we all owe a very special vote of thanks to the person in Romania who helped bring this about.
Beth, tell Tim he has to wear a tie. I want you both looking your very best.
Okay, but he's not gonna like it.
What have we got now?
More decorations, banners, balloons.
Who the devil's gonna fill all those up?
Don't worry, you off the hook. They will assign a civilian to do the work.
What are you doing here?
You're convinced I'm out to kill you. I don't blame you. Bill?
Where's the balloons?
Still working on them. Hey! Oh, sorry. Helium, right? I didn't think helium burned.
The fact is, Mrs. Ashley, there's a faction in our government convinced that if we get involved with Iron Curtain countries, the communists will destroy us. On the other side, there's a faction of communists who think détente is a trick to bring capitalist spies into their countries. And so you have an unholy alliance, a super secret alliance of very powerful men calling themselves the Patriots of Freedom. They want our program here to flourish at first and then sabotage it in such a dramatic way it would never be tried again.
You fit the bill perfectly. Mrs. Middle America with 2 all-American kids. The ambassador was Sizzle. They use their press connections around the world to make you everyone's darling.
To put it bluntly, your assassination would put an end to any further ideas of détente. As it happened, Mike was able to infiltrate the group.
But you tried to kill me.
No, ma'am. What I'm trying to do, what I've been trying to do, Mrs. Ashley, is to get you home where you'd be safe, to get you just sick enough so you'd have to leave Romania. Our doctors were waiting for you in Washington.
We couldn't tell you the truth. It would have blown the whole operation.
Even now, we don't know who put the organization together. He never attends the meetings. He's only known as the controller.
I'm sorry to say that your friend Dr. Dave Forge was part of the group.
Then why was he killed? Who killed him?
I had no choice. He knew I was a member of the committee. The moment that he sensed that I was poisoning you, he became suspicious of me. You see, you weren't supposed to die that way. I couldn't let him expose me.
He had children.
There was no family.
He told me.
He lied.
Eddie Maltz told me too.
Maltz?
Yes, I had him check it out. He said that Louis had been married and had 2 daughters.
Be damned, I just sent him to Franco.
Our immediate problem is a man known as Angel, professional assassin. He has a dozen.
I want Edward
passports,
Maltz taken into
but no
custody
one can identify him because
he's at the
always
air base in
contacted through his
Frankfurt.
mistress.
We expect him to try to carry out the contract this evening at the 4th of July party.
To make it as public and as shocking as possible.
Extraordinary precautions have been taken. We have the full cooperation of the Romanian government.
You're asking me to set myself up as a target?
There's something that we haven't told you. Months ago, when these people heard that you turned down the nomination, it was your husband that stood in the way. They were determined to get him out of the way. And they did. They tried to make it look like an accident so you wouldn't become suspicious. We could put an end to all of this tonight, if you'd help us. But without you and the children.
No. Not my children.
Just a very brief appearance. I'll slip them out quietly and bring them back here.
Not my children.
The entire block has been cordoned off by Ionesco's soldiers. Nobody gets through without a pass. We have our own checkpoints at every entrance. Keep alert and keep at your posts.
Then just as soon as you've made your appearance with me in the ballroom, 4 Marine Guards will bring you back here.
You mean we can't stay for the party?
No, no.
Why?
I can't tell you why. It's a secret. You mustn't let anyone know you're leaving.
I don't want to stay.
Why does it have to be so secretive,
Do you
Mom?
hear me? Do you hear me? No one. Tim?
Yes, Mom.
Beth? I love you.
Phoenix! Get these babies out of here! Easy! Hey, easy, easy! Don't worry, we won't break your precious balloons.
They'll be safe, don't worry.
Do you think he's here now?
I'm very sorry, sir.
You look like you want to change your mind.
I'm here and I intend to stay here. I told you that a long time ago, didn't I?
Where did all those balloons come from?
Where we always get them, our air base in Frankfurt. They deliver them to our warehouse here.
Who delivered them?
Army personnel.
Who in Army personnel?
I don't know what unit, but I'll find out for you.
Do that, will you, Bill?
Yes, sir. The balloons and some other stuff were taken from an Army truck right into the storage room here. Took all afternoon to fill them up.
Who brought them in?
I didn't get his name, sir. A civilian.
A civilian? What the hell are you talking about? Who gave that authorization?
Well, I didn't see the papers on it, Colonel, but I was told that it came from Mr. Maltz at the embassy. Briggs can tell you more about it. Briggs! Hey, Briggs! Briggs! I don't understand, sir. He was posted to this room, Colonel. He'd never leave without permission.
Angel is a woman. Eddie Maltz got a permit allowing Angel into the storage room. Look at this. I was checking the cylinders they used to fill the balloons for the party. There's a hell of a lot more than helium here. White phosphorus. This one is loaded with propane. Mix them with a little oxygen acetylene, you got a blast big enough to level a city block.
Mihai, would you see if you can find Mr. Slade?
Yes, ma'am. A timer. There's got to be a timer to set them off. How long ago did he or she leave?
According to the sergeant, just a few minutes ago. Could be anywhere.
I want you to clear the room immediately, make an announcement, get everybody outside.
What is it?
Those balloons up there, they're lethal. There's a timing device set to explode in here somewhere, and when it does, it's going to blow this place sky high in a matter of minutes.
The Ambassador's Folly. We can open the roof.
Not with a switch. Nothing electrical. Any kind of spark would set them off.
There should be a manual override.
Get them out. Say anything, but just get them outside. Come on, Bill.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Could you all step out into the courtyard as soon as possible? There's a small fire in the kitchen. Nothing to be alarmed about. But as a precaution, could we all step outside for a few minutes? Thank you.
Careful, Mike.
Yeah. There it is. Easy.
Excuse me, ma'am, but Colonel McKinney gave me orders to clear the ballroom.
Connors, please open the door.
Sir George, this is the police. Would you open this door, please, sir? Sir George, I must ask you to open this door immediately. George. Sir George, open this door. Sir George, this is the police. George. Sir George, I must insist you open this door. Sir George. You open this door. Just break it down.
The left one, this is.
Bye, my dear.
Yes. Yes, I see. All right, Jerry, thank you. They just picked up Hans Kreitz at the Bundestag in Bonn. He's the last one on Mike Slade's list except the controller.
And still no leads.
No one can identify him. Slade back yet?
Yes, he flew in yesterday on the same plane as Mrs. Ashley. I doubt very much that you're going to be able to persuade her to go back.
Well, how can we blame her? She's been used by everyone since she got there. I'd like to arrange an appointment with her for tomorrow morning. And tell Slade I've got another assignment for him in Washington.
All right. Take me to CIA headquarters.
In time.
What? What did you say?
First, we talk.
You.
Senor, I gotta tell you, I am disappointed. The bank in Geneva, there's nothing there.
You're damn right, there's nothing there.
Oh, sometimes things happen. I do good next time.
There won't be a next time. You're not gonna get a dime.
Oh, senor, I beg you not to make this hasty decision. We can talk.
We are through talking right now. Did you hear me?
You're never gonna see Angel again. Hasta luego.
Why Stanton Rogers?
I guess there's just no honor among assassins.
Assassins?
The Patriots of Freedom Committee. It may have just lost their last member and saved us a lot of trouble.
Stanton Rogers?
The controller. Mary Ashley said something to me on the flight back. She said the only two people that she trusted in all of this were the president and Rogers. That got me to thinking, someone above reproach. God knows the president wasn't out to sabotage his own program. But Stanton Rogers was something else. Here was someone high enough with all the connections necessary, someone who could personally supervise the publicity buildup. He knew exactly what Mary and the kids symbolized, and everything must have clicked for him. In fact, it almost worked.
You think she'll go back now?
I wouldn't take any bets on that, Bill, but I'll tell you one thing. The lady's got grit.
You know, of course, why I've asked you here to twist your arm.
Mr. President.
No, I know, and I can certainly empathize with you, believe me. Can I show you something?
Yes.
This letter arrived at the White House yesterday. Ionescu sidestepped State Department channels to have it delivered to me personally.
Ionescu?
Yes, he's asked me to do everything I can to persuade you, to implore you to return. He even mentioned 23 dissidents.
What?
He's allowing 23 dissidents to leave the country. Even said he might permit a few others. Now, mind you, he didn't couple that with your return, but I think that's clearly the inference. So, you now have the presidents of two different countries asking you to reconsider.
If I did, Mr. President,
Yes?
I would insist our country give sanctuary to Karina Sokolai.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mary. I told you why we can't do that. That would offend Ionescu.
Well, he'll get over it. I know Ionescu, Mr. President. He's using her as a bargaining chip.
How do we get her out of Romania?
On one of our Army cargo planes.
All right. I'll clear it with state.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Don't mention it.
Oh, there's just one more thing.
Yes, Mary?
I'll need Mike Slade.
He already has another assignment, so anyone else at all.
Slade.
I get the feeling here that I'm being subjected to blackmail. In fact, now I know why you've done so well in Romania.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
Mary? Stay out of trouble.
Right. Hi.
Hi.
We're going to be neighbors again, Mr. Slade. I'm in the office next year's until I go back at the end of the week.
Back home?
No, Romania. I talked it over with the president this morning. He told me to keep out of trouble.
Oh, nice sense of humor, the president.
You'll be going back too.
No, not me. I think you've made some sort of mistake. I have another assignment. See, the president just told me.
Oh, no,
that
the
I was
president
going
just
to go
told me. He said he wouldn't even consider my returning without Mike Slade. I said, of course, that you might not want to, but he insisted.
He insisted.
Hmm.
Well, that might help solve the problem.
Problem?
If the ambassador is not allowed to fraternize with foreigners, then who is she going to fraternize with? There has to be someone, right?
Absolutely. There has to be someone. In the meantime. Coffee?